A letter from a soul with paws. Have you ever wondered if the ones we've loved and lost still wait for us? Not as ghosts in the dark, but as warmth in the quiet, as soft echoes in the stillness. If you've ever felt a breeze brush your skin when no one was there. If you've ever caught yourself reaching toward the empty side of the couch. Then maybe this letter is meant for you. Because this isn't just a story. It's a whisper from a soul with paws. From a heart that never truly stopped loving you. So sit with me for a moment. Close your eyes and listen closely. You might just hear something you've been missing all along. The day we chose each other. It didn't look like much from the outside. No glowing spotlight, no perfect photo, just noise, barking, metal kennels, footsteps that didn't linger, and you, sitting in a quiet corner, looking not for a dog, but for something that might still believe in you. You didn't reach out right away. You looked down at your hands like they'd forgotten how to hold anything gently. But I saw you. I didn't leap, didn't bark or fight for attention. I simply walked, slowly, steadily, and curled into your lap like I had always been there. You let out a surprised breath, then laughed, a small, cracked laugh, the kind that hadn't been used in a while. And I remember what you said. Well, looks like you chose me. And I did. You smelled like rain and old paper and something quietly broken. Like someone who had been carrying more than they admitted. And even though I was just a wobbly 8-week-old pup, I understood it. You didn't need a companion. You needed a witness. Not to your achievements, but to your silences. To your morning coffee you never finished. To the way you looked out the window and forgot to blink. To the way you laughed when no one was watching, just a little too hard. Just a little too late. That day wasn't about taking a dog home. It was about coming home to each other. I wasn't a rescue, and neither were you. We were two souls, tired of being alone, finding rest in a moment that didn't need fixing, just feeling. That night, you made a bed on the floor beside me. You didn't trust I wouldn't cry. And maybe you didn't trust that you wouldn't either. I didn't cry. You didn't cry. But something softened. You placed your hand on my back. Like it was the only thing keeping you grounded. And even as your breathing slowed into sleep, you never moved it, as if letting go of me might mean losing something else, too. But I wasn't going anywhere. I stayed. And with time, you stayed too. Not just in the house, but in your heart. You started smiling in the mornings, humming when you brewed your coffee. You began talking out loud, like the silence had finally given you permission to speak again. That's what I became, not just your dog, but your anchor. The one who reminded you what it felt like to be chosen. Not for your strength, but for your softness. And every day since, I've chosen you all over again. The beautiful weight of ordinary days. People chase the big moments. The fireworks, the birthdays, the perfect photos framed on the wall. But you and I, we learned to love the in-between. The quiet, the crumbs, the half-finished mornings and the almost forgotten afternoons. Do you remember how you used to talk to me while doing dishes? You'd ramble about your day, your hopes, your strange dreams from the night before. You never expected a reply, but you always paused, like you were waiting for one anyway. And I answered the only way I knew how. By being there, still, present, unmoving, the kind of love that doesn't interrupt, that just listens. You never said it, but I think the silence scared you sometimes. Not because it was empty, but because it echoed, and I filled it, not with words, but with presence. When we walked, you held the leash loose in your hand, not as a tether, but as a symbol. I could have run, but I never wanted to. You let me sniff every flower, every rock, every tree like it was the first time. You thought it was silly, but it was never about the sniffing. It was about giving you time to breathe. Even then, I understood that you moved too fast for a world that didn't slow down. And I was your pause button, your reminder to look up, to stop scrolling, to feel the ground beneath your feet. And sometimes, on the hardest days, you sat on the floor. Your shoulders heavy, your eyes far away. You didn't need fixing, you needed witnessing. So I found my most prized possession. That squeaky ball, the one you jokingly threatened to throw away 100 times, and I brought it to you. Not because I wanted to play, but because I wanted to give you something, anything. And when you laughed through the tears, when your hands clutched that slobbery, beaten up toy like it was a treasure, That's when I knew. You saw me too. Because love doesn't always wear ribbons. Sometimes it smells like wet fur. Sometimes it squeaks in the middle of the night. Sometimes it just sits beside you and says nothing at all. But it's there. Oh, it's there. In every ordinary day we thought we could forget, but never did. The day you couldn't say goodbye. I knew something was changing before you said a word. The stairs had become mountains. My dreams came faster than my steps. I no longer raced to the door when you came home, I listened instead. From the corner of the room, with tired eyes and a heart still full. But you kept holding on. You fed me softer food. You laid blankets where the sun hit the floor just right. You carried me when my legs forgot how to carry me. You tried everything except preparing to say goodbye. That morning, the light felt different, so did your silence. You knelt beside me with that shaky smile, the one you wore when you were trying to be strong for both of us. You ran your fingers through my fur slowly, like you were memorizing the shape of my soul. And when I didn't eat, your heart cracked. Even if your lips said nothing. You sat next to me longer than usual. No phone, no music, just us. You didn't need to say it. I already knew. The car ride was quiet. The world outside kept going, cars, clouds, movement, but inside the car, time stopped. You whispered to me the whole way there. I'm not ready. I'm so sorry. I love you. And I wanted to tell you. In the only way I could. I know. And it's okay. You weren't just letting go of me. You were letting go of years of companionship, of identity, of unconditional presence. You were grieving the you that I had witnessed, when no one else had. The you that stayed up too late worrying. The you that laughed so hard you cried. The you that found pieces of yourself again through my eyes. And in those final moments, as the vet spoke softly and your hands pressed into my fur like you could anchor me there forever, I wasn't afraid. I wasn't scared of the quiet that was coming. Because I had known the greatest sound in the world, your heartbeat near mine. As the light faded, I focused on that rhythm. That was the song I carried with me. Into whatever comes next. I still visit you. I know you try to explain it away. You say it's the wind brushing the porch swing. The floorboards shifting with age. That sudden chill on your neck when no window is open. Just the draft. You whisper. But deep down, something inside you pauses, just long enough to wonder. And that moment of wondering, is where I live. I'm not gone. I've just changed places. I used to meet you at the door. Tail wagging. Whole body alive with joy. Now I meet you in quieter places, soft edges of memory. Gentle nudges of feeling. When you're driving and suddenly hear a song we used to sit through together, that tightening in your chest. That warmth behind your eyes? That's me. When you drop food and still glance down, half expecting to see me there, waiting to clean up your mess. I'm there. When you dream of open fields, of fur beneath your fingers, of laughter that comes from nowhere. I'm pulling at your sleeve again. You don't need to believe in ghosts. I'm not here to haunt you. I'm here to remind you that real love doesn't disappear. I visit in the quiet. When you think no one is watching. When the world grows still enough for you to feel something deeper. And when you reach for that picture of me, the one by the fireplace. Where my tongue's out and I look like I'm flying, and you touch it like it's more than paper. I feel it. Every kiss, every whisper, every tear you hide from the world. They reach me, because the bridge between us wasn't built of flesh and time. It was built of trust, of belly rubs, of unspoken promises, and that kind of bridge never breaks. So keep talking to me in the laundry room. Keep humming that off-key song you used to sing while we cooked. Keep looking over your shoulder when the house feels just a little too quiet. Because love lingers, and so do I. You gave me the perfect life. You used to worry, more than you let on. I saw it in the way you hovered at the door before leaving for work. Wondering if I'd be okay alone. I heard it in your voice when you asked, do I give him enough? As if love could be measured in treats or park visits. But let me tell you now, as clearly as I can, you gave me everything, not because of what you bought, or how many miles we walked, but because of how you loved me, wholly, imperfectly, completely. You were there when I was young and clumsy, slipping on tile floors, chewing your socks like they were treasure. You laughed, not because it was convenient, but because you chose to find joy in me. You forgave every mess, Every accident, every muddy paw print on the white couch you swore you'd keep clean. And when storms rolled in and thunder shook the windows, I found shelter, not under the bed, but in you. You let me be loud. You let me be scared. You let me be exactly who I was, without ever asking me to be more. That's a rare kind of love, the kind that doesn't try to fix or mold, but simply accepts. You didn't just give me a home. You gave me a rhythm. Morning pats, late night sighs, the way you whispered, "Good boy," like a secret only we shared. And on the hard days, when life was heavier than usual, you still made room for me. Even when your heart was tired, even when you had nothing left to give, you still gave me you. That was your gift. You always had me, and if I could choose 1,000 lifetimes, I'd still choose the one with you. You didn't just give me a good life. You gave me the life. The only one I ever wanted. I'll be waiting at the door. One day, when your steps slow, when the world feels softer, and time loses its edge, you'll feel it, that familiar pull. Maybe in a dream, maybe in the hush between heartbeats, maybe in the quiet hour before dawn, when the sky still remembers how to hold the stars. And on that day, when your journey draws near its end, I'll be there, not younger, not older, just golden, just the way you remembered me, sitting by a new kind of door, one you've never seen, but will somehow recognize. And the moment I see you, I'll run, like I did in the old days, ears flapping, paws flying, heart bursting with joy I can't contain. You'll kneel, like you did the very first time, and I'll bury my face into your chest, as if no time has passed at all. No leash, no waiting, no more goodbyes, just fields, just freedom, just us, and we'll walk again, side by side, as if the years never took anything from us, as if love had simply been waiting, like I always did. But until that day comes, leave the porch light on, because sometimes, when the night feels too quiet, I still find my way back to the home we built, back to you. And if this letter found you in a quiet moment, when memory ached a little too deeply, and silence sat too heavy beside you, then maybe, just maybe, you were meant to hear this. If it touched something buried in your heart, share this story with someone still grieving. Subscribe if you believe love never truly leaves. And stay, if you, too, are still waiting at your own door, for someone golden.